The Tower of London has a very small part in this story. The Tower of London is over 900 years old. In its time, it has been a prison, a palace, a fortress. It has also been a place where murder, both judicial and unlawful murder, has often taken place. There is a long tradition of violence associated with the Tower of London. Now, you see the four tallest towers. They are the towers of the White Tower, the oldest part of the Tower of London. And at the base of that tower is a parade ground. And on a summer's morning in August 1888, the year of the Jack the Ripper murders, ranks of soldiers were drawn up as if for an inspection. The soldiers were wearing their red coats, but they were not wearing their caps and hats, because what was about to take place was not an inspection, but an identification parade. And the person about to attempt the identification was an East End prostitute. And she was known as a soldier's prostitute. And these were the most diseased and common form of prostitute. And what she was trying to do was identify one of two soldiers that she and her friend had gone drinking with a few nights previous. Late that particular night, the two women had separated. The friend was never seen alive again. In fact, her body was found some hours later, lying on a landing in George Yard, not far from where we shall end the walk this evening. The friend had been stabbed 39 times. Now, the killer was never identified, the killer was never caught. But that murder was just one of two murders which formed part of the background of violence to the Jack the Ripper murders. This violence was, if you like, the prelude or the overture to what has been called the Autumn of Terror. One other thing to point out to you before we move away, and that is this section of wall over here to your left, because this again has a place in this story. The bottom part of this wall is Roman. The top part is medieval. The oldest part of the wall is over 1800 years old. Now, one time this wall enclosed an area of roughly 1 square mile, and this area inside the wall was the original London. It's the area we still refer to today as the City of London, or the 1 square mile with St Paul's Cathedral in its centre. Over the centuries, London has expanded from 1 square mile to over 700 square miles. But the City of London still has its own separate identity from the rest of London. It has its own Lord Mayor, its own form of government, and as far as this story is concerned, its own police force. London had in 1888, and still has today,